What comes to mind when we think of Venice from our youth? The floating city of Italy, Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, Marco Polo, Titian, and Vivaldi, just to name a few. It has been described by the Times as one of Europe's most romantic cities. The New York Times called it the most beautiful city built by man. Away from the main canals and the squares, Venice is a maze of narrow alleyways called calli. The alleyways of Venice form a labyrinth structure, winding their way through the city and connecting various squares, canals, and hidden corners. It's easy to get lost, but that's part of the adventure. The narrow alleys are home to both residential and commercial spaces. You will find homes, shops, cafes, and small businesses tucked away in these charming passages. I guess during the 14th and the 15th centuries, Venice didn't have any HOA, so the wealthy families and the common people would construct buildings wherever they found suitable, resulting in the twisted and the narrow alleyways that we see today. I guess the mindset was like, if someone built a house there, I'll do it too. If my neighbor paints their wall green, I'll paint mine red or maybe yellow. It's an entirely different concept from the European architecture I saw in Paris last year. These alleyways often lead to charming, hidden corners of the city. They are flanked by historic buildings, many of which date back centuries. The architecture reflects a mix of styles, including Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque, showcasing the city's rich history. Bridges span over some of the narrower canals that intersect the alleys. These bridges are essential for navigating the city on foot and contribute to the romantic and the picturesque atmosphere of Venice. Some alleyways are home to artisan workshops where you can witness traditional crafts being practiced. These workshops add to the authenticity of the city and offer a unique shopping experience. The presence of numerous narrow alleyways in Venice is a result of several historical, geographical, and architectural factors. Venice is situated on a group of 118 small islands within a lagoon, and space is limited. The city developed a series of islands connected by canals, and the natural geography of the area influenced the layout of the streets. The need to maximize land use in a confined space led to the creation of narrow alleyways. Venice grew organically over centuries, and its layout reflects the historical development of the city. The construction of buildings was often dictated by the available space on the islands, leading to the creation of narrow and winding streets. The narrow and maze-like layout of Venice served as a defensive strategy. During the medieval times, when the city faced threats from invaders, the complex network of narrow streets made it difficult for outsiders to navigate the city easily. It acted as a natural defense mechanism against potential attacks. Venice was built on wooden piles driven into the marshy ground. The challenging terrain and the constant threat of flooding limited the amount of space available for broad streets. The city's architects and builders adapted to the environment, constructing buildings on the available land and creating narrow passageways. The Venetian cultural and aesthetic preferences also played a role in the development of narrow alleyways. The winding streets add to the romantic and the mysterious atmosphere of the city, creating a unique and enchanting experience for residents and visitors alike. With canals serving as a primary means of transportation, the focus of urban planning was on water routes rather than wide streets. The city's layout prioritized access to and from the water, resulting in a network of narrow paths weaving through the buildings. Venice historically had a complex social structure, with noble families and common citizens living in close proximity. The narrow alleys often reflect the close-knit nature of the neighborhoods, where families lived in homes clustered together. Venturing into the narrow alleyways provides a more intimate experience of local life in Venice. You may come across locals going about their daily routines, hanging laundry, or engaging in conversation. The alleyways contribute significantly to the unique atmosphere of Venice. They showcase the city's resilience and adaptability to its watery environment, while preserving a sense of community and tradition. Exploring the narrow alleyways of Venice is a delightful way to experience the city beyond its famous landmarks. It allows visitors to appreciate the local culture, architecture, and the day-to-day life of this extraordinary city built on water.